Good morning, class 8th. We will continue our discussion of chapter 1, that is crop production and management. In that, till now we discussed about few of the agricultural practices like preparation of soil, sowing and selection of seeds, and manures and fertilizers. And today we will discuss about irrigation, okay, and rest of the agricultural practices. Irrigation. Water is essential for the growth and development of crops. All plants do not require same amount of water. For example, rice needs standing water and hence are grown in rainy seasons. Raji, Jawar and Bajra needs less water and thus are grown in winter season. Okay, different crops need water at different times for their growth. For example, some need it before plowing, while some at the flowering stage. A good farmer knows when to water and how much to water to avoid wastage of water and improve the productivity. Okay, so irrigation is the supply of water to the crops at different intervals is called irrigation. During summers, plants require more water in comparison to winter because the water more water at the as the rate of transpiration and evaporation of water from the soil is very high. Okay, now the sources of irrigation. rainwater is the main source of Rainwater is the main source of water for all the water bodies, but the distribution of rainfall is even and uncertain, which may cause flood or drought. Therefore, we have to develop proper methods to irrigate the field to avoid these problems. The sources of irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams, and canals. Okay, traditional methods of irrigation are methods such as chain pump, moat, pulley system, Rahat water wheel, Dekli have been used in India traditionally to irrigate crops. Okay, these methods often lead to the wastage of water. You can see in okay, chain pump is shown over there, moat or pulley system is shown over there, and then Rahat or lever system is shown over there, and Dekli is also shown over there. These are some old or outdated methods of irrigation, and in modern days, the methods of irrigation are sprinkler irrigation system or drip irrigation system. The modern methods of irrigation prevent wastage of water. As you know, nowadays water crisis has become major problem and is the reason for the droughts and the famines in India. Sprinkler irrigation system is one of the modern day methods of irrigation. It is more useful on even dry lands where there is insufficient water supply is there. In this system, a main pipe is linked to a network of smaller pipes crisscrossing each other with rotating nozzle on their tops. Okay, water flows into the main pipes and then into the smaller pipes with the help of pump. Thus the plants get a continuous supply of water for a long time. You can see also sprinklers irrigation system in the figure is also shown over there. Drip irrigation is the second type of modern day methods of irrigation. It is the best technique to water fruit plants and vegetables. In this method, water is allowed to fall drop by drop only at the roots of the plants, thus avoiding the wastage of water. This method is excellent for the region with lesser lesser amount of water or severe scarcity of water is there. Okay, now we will discuss next agricultural practices, production of crops from weeds, how we can protect crops from weeds. Weeds are undesirable plants that grow along with the main crop plant in the field. Grass, Amaranthus, you can see in the figure also, and wild oat are some common weeds. Okay, these weeds have to be removed as they compete with the main crop plant for nutrients, water and sunlight and space also. They reduce the yield of the crop plants. They grow very quickly and may be toxic for the animals and human beings. They may also spread pests and disease to the main crops. Ways to remove weeds: physical and mechanical methods. The process of removing weeds from the crop field is called weeding. Okay, the methods of removing are discussed below. First is physical. Weeds are manually pulled out from the ground. They can be removed by using hoe, kurpi also, or trowel or a harrow. Okay, they can be removed by the plowing the land before sowing, which will uproot the weeds. Second is chemical methods. These the weeds can be killed by spraying certain chemicals called weedicides, also called herbicides. These chemicals, which are sprayed over the field, kill only the weeds. The chemicals do not cause any damage to the crop plants. While spraying weedicides, farmers should take proper precautions like covering their nose and mouth with a cloth. Okay, 2D and 4D, 2 or D dichlorophenoxic acetic acid and buchacolor are some examples of weedicides. Biological methods. Third is the certain animals feed exclusively on the weeds and thus they can help to control the spread of weeds also. From pests, how feeds can be, how the crop can be protected from pests. Pests are kind of insects, disease causing organisms or rats. They can cause damage to the crop. Some natural ways to protect plants are to keep stray animals away from the crop. A fence can be built around the field. Plants can be damaged by various bacterial and fungal disease. These the diseased crops can be burnt, also be burned, so that the disease do not spread to the healthy crops. Deep plowing can kill the eggs of various insects and pests. Showing disease resistant variety of seeds protects the plant from various disease. Birds can be kept away by installing scarecrows or by knitting the form. Growing healthy plants is a natural way of keeping the pests away. Unhealthy plants are always targeted, so they should be removed as soon as they spotted in the form. Other methods of crop protection are pesticides, insecticides, rodenticides are there. These are chemicals that kill only the pests and do not harm the crop plants. These are generally dissolved in water and sprayed using hand sprayer. Okay. Insecticides, these are chemicals that kill only insects. BHC, benzene hexachloride or gamma hexene, malathion, dimicron are some commonly used insecticides. When large areas have to be covered, these are sprayed using low flying aircrafts. Okay, rodenticides, These are chemicals that kill rodents. Using pesticides is easy and effective method to kill the pests quickly. These are easy to store and use. In spite of these advantages, one should remember all the pesticides are toxic and should be used with caution. Farmers should take extreme care while spraying them on the field. These chemicals easily pollute the soil and water bodies and eventually become a part of the food chain. It can affect all the life forms on the earth and cause various health related issues. Next agricultural practice is harvesting. Harvesting is the process of cutting and collecting mature crop from the field. It can be done manually using sickle. You can see in the pic also, or by a machine called harvester. The harvested crops has grains attached to the calf and have to be separated. The process of separating grain from the chaff is known as threshing. This can be done manually by beating the harvested crops on a hard surface, or letting letting animals such as buffaloes walk over them. In large farm, a machine called thresher is used. You can see in the pic also the combine. A modern farm machine called combine does both harvesting and threshing functions. Okay. The grains has to be separated from the chaff and is done by the process of the grains are separated from the chaff is done by the process known as winnowing. Okay, in this method the grains are dropped from a height. As the grains are heavier, they fall straight from the ground, while the husk, being the lighter, blow away from a separate heap of at a small some distance. Okay, winnowing you can see. Storage is the next agricultural practices. Most crop plants are seasonal, meaning they are stored and supplied as when required. Cereals and pulses can be stored for a much longer time as compared to the fruits and vegetables, which have a shorter shelf life. Cereals and grains are dried properly in sunlight before storing. Any moisture content in the grains can lead to the growth of microorganisms and molds and can destroy the entire produce. These are stored in gunny bags made of jute and metallic beans. Dried neem leaves can also be added to the grains to keep away insects and worms. Large gunny bags are filled with grains are stored in godowns or granaries and in grain silos. Okay, you can see in the pic also gunny bags for storing grains as well as silos for storing grains. The granaries have to be neat and clean and free from moisture with proper doors to prevent entry of rats. Okay, these have to be checked periodically to avoid loss of grains. These are also fumigated regularly to ensure better storage. Okay, cold storage is also used to store fruits and vegetables. It increases shelf life and retain their nutritive value for longer period. It also stops the action of enzymes and prevent their spoilage. Meat, fish, eggs and various dairy products are also stored in this way. Okay, now the animal husbandry, the branch of science that deals with breeding and raising of domestic animals on a large scale, is known as animal husbandry. Man is an omnivore, and animals have been an integral part of man's civilization. We get many kinds of food items from animals. Here are some products obtained from animals: milk, Producing animals called milch animal. It includes cow, buffaloes, goat. Milk is used to prepare variety of products such as butter, ghee, curd, cheese and cream. Poultry includes the birds such as hen, ducks, geese and turkey. Okay, we get eggs and meat from them, which are a good source of protein. They are raised in poultry farms. Milch animals you can see as well as poultry farm. Fisheries. Fisheries are placed where fish are reared. We get fish from both marine and freshwater sources. They are rich source of proteins, vitamins and minerals. Fishing is a major source of income for 14 million people in India. Fish farming on a large scale is also known as pisciculture. Okay, the rearing of honeybees on a large scale to obtain honey is called apiculture. Honey contains sugar, water, minerals, and vitamins. It is commonly used in Ayurvedic treatment. He is also used as sea sweeteners also. Okay, apiculture you can see as well as pisciculture you can see over there. Now the concept mapping, what we understand or what we discussed throughout the chapter. Agricultural practices we discussed: preparation of soil, leveling and plowing, selection and sowing of seeds, using seed drills or broadcasting, adding manures and fertilizers, improve soil fertility. Okay, irrigation, irrigation, sprinkler system, drip systems, traditional methods, chain pump, moat, rahat dekli, production of crops, weeds, the physical, chemical and biological control methods, pests, natural methods and chemical methods, harvesting, cutting, threshing, winnowing, and the last is storage of grains, grain silos, cold storage also. Okay, this is what we discussed in this particular chapter. So these are some key words, dear students. Okay, in this way we are able to revise our chapter 1. So dear students, focus on the exercise questions and try to solve them. Okay, dear students, thank you so much. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye bye dear students. Okay dear students.